Hey guys, Matt here from DCLblogger.com. Decentraland just made an announcement literally 4 minutes ago about this blog post going through their plans for the upcoming future. You can read it over here if you want. I'm not gonna read all this on the video today. In fact, today I'm gonna go through the public roadmap, which is something I think a lot of people were waiting for to figure out what's upcoming. Okay. So if I open it up, it's a Trello board. If you're not familiar with Trello, it's kind of like a group organization software kind of thing. You can just put things on your board and scroll through them, tick them off, drag them across different places along the board. But basically, this Trello board is split into 4 sections: live, soon, next, and later. No point going through the live ones. Let's go through soon. It would have been really awesome if we got some dates or at least some months. I know it's hard to commit these things, but try and figure out a bit of a timeline as to when can we expect these things. But there definitely are some really awesome things that I've seen in this roadmap, and let's kind of go through them now, right? One thing I wanted to point out in this blog post is that they mentioned to be among the first to gain early access, be sure to create your avatar, kicking off on the 8th of July. All right, so we've got a date locked in for creating avatars, which is, we're in July now. Yeah, July now, right? So yeah, that's in about a week from now. That being said, what's happening next? All right, closed access beta explorer. Decentraland opens to the first few hundred community members for early access and testing. So the first few hundred community members for early access and testing. This allows the development team to stress test the platform while giving the chance to content creators to experience their work in world on a drastically improved Explorer. I am part of a private channel in the Discord, official Decentraland Discord channel. A private group of people that are testing the platform. I actually haven't seen it myself because it's not open to my country yet, but it's open to people in Europe and US, and the people there from those countries are checking it out and are saying that it's bloody awesome, right? So there's been a lot of really cool feedback. A lot of content has not been deployed. In fact, districts and plazas are slowly being deployed, and people keep checking them out and saying that it's awesome. But there's also a few bugs that they're working through this. The platform crashes here and there. There's like disappearing bugs, people overlapping, people flying, floating. Like a lot of things need a little bit of fixing here and there. And I think that's the reason why it's gone private at the moment for I don't know how long, but it's really important that it does. Because at the end of the day, like if this opened to the public with these issues, we would have had so much more kind of negative feedback, right? You don't want to release a half-baked platform. And at the end of the day, they do every project needs a closed beta at some stage, but I really want this to be over with because I want it to be open access beta soon. So hopefully this whole closed access beta thing will be over soon. It's not going to take a few months. Hopefully at max it'll take the whole of this month, but seems like avatars will be a thing very soon. Customize your avatar, claim a unique name. Very soon you'll be able to create your own avatar using a myriad of wearables and accessories, giving it a mini bio and claiming your unique name on the blockchain. So your unique name on the blockchain, which is going to be it's specific to you, kind of like a domain name. Once you choose it, no one else can. So if I choose DCL Blogger, no one else can choose DCL Blogger, and there'll probably be someone else that'll probably get DCL Blogger before me. I don't really care. I'll probably go with something else. So I'm sure there's going to be some kind of a marketplace to buying and selling certain things. Create your Decentraland passport, kind of crosses over with the other one. Publish your land from the builder. Okay. Publish to your land from the builder. So you build something, you publish it straight to your land. All right. Fantasy asset pack. So this one we voted on a while back. That's going to be imported. An improved experience on the builder powered by the Unity client. I know they switched to Unity 3D, and that should make things a lot more better and faster in Decentraland. So that's very cool. Hopefully by soon they mean in the next 2 weeks or this month max. That's why I think dates would have been really, really good, right? Open access beta explorer, opening the gates to the Decentraland Explorer after a testing period by early access community members. We are opening the world for everyone to explore. Okay. Store your builder scenes in the cloud. Create your asset pack in the builder. That's pretty cool. The builder will soon allow users to create their own asset pack, add your favorite assets into a new drawer, give it a name and an icon, and get ready to build custom scenes. Okay. Add your favorite assets into a new drawer. Create their own asset pack. What does that mean? Does that mean you can custom build things within that asset pack, or does that mean you can just have your own little customized sets, which are just from the current models in Decentraland, in the builder? I'm not exactly sure what that means. If that means that you can build anything that you want, that will be pretty damn cool. That it's this kind of soon. Blockchain-based wearables for avatars. Yes, NFT variables have been a thing. So I do know wearable market is really big, like skins and stuff in all sorts of games like Fortnite and High Fidelity and Second Life and all that. So I think, at the end of the day, people like to customize their avatar. Use basic map of places and teleport to target scene. Okay. Detect collisions of player with items and move player. I think those are for more game mechanics. SDK tutorials, learn how to make an interactive experience. Yep. So tutorials for people using the SDK. No matter how many tutorials or how easy they make it for, I guess, developers to build with using the SDK, someone like me that really doesn't want to touch anything got to do with anything coding, that's why the kind of drag and drop builder was really good, because you could just drag it and put it into place, right? Didn't have to know anything got to do with coding. I hope there's just going to be a lot of evolution with the land builder. Easily place pathways, tiles, walls in the builder. Okay, I think they're going to make it easier to, instead of putting one by one tile, hopefully you can just say 20 tiles and just place like a lot of tiles in your land. That'll make things a lot more quicker, right? Decentraland Sdk Hackathon. This is pretty cool. This is probably one of the biggest things in this roadmap. So Decentraland Sdk Hackathon, 2.5 million mana as prizes and 200 lands. After testing the new SDK at a private online hackathon hosted during the second half of June, we are going to be launching a much larger event aimed at a global audience of developers, artists, and content creators in general. Aimed at a global audience of developers, artists, in September, which is soon. So what do we have? We got July, August, September. Okay, so 3 months from now, you'll have the chance to submit your most creative. Well, actually, September's only 2 months from now. All of July and all of August, and September's the third month. So 2 full months, and then September. So the third month, we should have this. You have the chance to submit your most creative interactive scenes to the next Decentraland Hackathon and win a share of 2.5 million mana plus 200 lands. All right. That's pretty damn cool. Now, that's a lot. That's almost 5 million mana in prices. So 200 land, each land's probably about 9, let's say 8,000 mana conservatively. 200 times 8,000 is 1.6, right? So it's about 4 million mana in prizes conservatively. That's a lot of prizes, and I'm actually pretty excited for this because when Decentraland have held hackathons and they held the one for the builder that went kind of nuts. They had the second auction that went nuts. So when Decentraland have these big events that change, that either bring a lot of eyeballs on Decentraland, the land market and mana has reacted very favorably. So I'm very excited, being a land holder and a mana token holder, to see what happens here. And it'll be cool to see how this plays out. Hold and view NFTs in your inventory. Yes. Ask a landowner for a spot to show off your scene. Okay. Supporting more NFTs for picture frames. Deadland Ping, a policy for handling lost or abandoned land. What happens to my land if I lose access to my private keys? A smart contract will provide a decentralized solution to detect when a land parcel has not been accessed by the owner or developers for a long enough time period. The parameters will be subject to public vote in Agora. All right. If land is left abandoned, it will be returned to a pool of the commons and auctioned off. So this is very interesting. This is very interesting. This is very delicate, to be honest, because first of all, the fact that it's decentralized solution is good, sounds good in theory, but I hope the intricacies of the process of how they're going to deploy this is going to be something that everyone kind of agrees on. Because at the end of the day, I have about 300 plus lands, and if I need to edit each one of them to let Decentraland know that I own them and I have access to them, then that's going to be a big process for me. And a lot of people kind of probably have this whole set and forget mentality with their investments, and land is not going to be different to that. So people might have their land and they might be like, oh, I'm just going to check back on this a few years later and see where this is at. So this is going to be interesting to put in place, because you don't want to auction someone's land off where they do have access, but they didn't want to touch it 2 years from now. But at the end of the day, they do need a solution to this, because an abandoned land really does no benefit to anyone, not even the person that originally owned it. Because if they don't have access to it, then what are you going to do? You don't have access to it. Nothing can be done except for an empty space in Decentraland, and you don't want to be looking at empty spaces in Decentraland. Eventually, you want ideally, you want over 70 to 90% content build on Decentraland. So you're walking around, there's a lot of stuff to see, there's things to do, and not just abandoned lands here and there. So hopefully the implementation of that will be something everyone agrees on. Later, I really wonder what later means. Does that mean next year? Does that mean at the end of this year? Eventually, use interactive smart items in the builder. This is more for the devs, I believe. Do you wish to create interactive scenes but lack the coding skills? Oh, this is not for devs. Okay. Having interactive assets at the tip of your fingers will mark the next iteration of the builder. Bring your scenes to life with assets that include animations and interactivity. That's pretty cool. So you can drag and drop things that you can interact with straight from the builder. That's pretty damn cool. So now it's just not going to be static. Who knows, you might be able to put like a dinosaur that patrols your area, and then maybe you can put like a lion that chases you if you enter the land. That'd be really, really cool to put in, because then you could make your own games just literally dragging and dropping things. Find and make friends in the world. That's pretty funny. We want Decentraland to be a social experience, and to do that, you'll need a way to find your friends and connect with the new people. We'll be working on fun ways to connect users to one another and make it easy to find the friends that you want to share experiences with. Okay. Use pre-built scenes in the builder. For landowners who want a really simple solution or need some inspiration to get started, we'll be making pre-built scenes available in the builder. This will drastically accelerate content on Decentraland. If you can drag and drop pre-made castles, pre-made houses, mansions, and all this kind of stuff, and then edit it once it's imported, that saves so much more time and skill and effort in creating things from scratch. So if there's a market for building like pre-built scenes, and then you could sell those pre-builds on the marketplace, that'd be very cool, both from the creator's perspective and from the user's perspective. That I can see that being used a lot. In fact, I would probably set aside some money to buy some of these scenes. Ask friends to teleport to your location. World map features, popular, trending, and favorite lands. Okay, that is necessary in terms of discoverability. The next iteration of the world map will include features and bookmark locations, trending lands, as well as a way to instantly teleport to your favorite locations in Genesis City. So this will be very, very, very important in terms of keeping content fresh, because at the end of the day, if we have to enter Decentraland to find out where the new content lies, you're going to believe, like at the end of the day, people are going to get bored and sick of doing that. You need to make it very easy, so you can just log into it. You can just go to a website and then see what's going on. Yes, there's an event happening now. There's this new thing that is cool to explore. This event is trending. This build is new. Kind of like Google Play, right? So if you want to download a new app, maybe you'll go to Google Play. If you want to buy something, if you go to YouTube, right, you go to the homepage, it'll show you what's trending. That's what gets you engaging every day. If you were to go to YouTube and search for your most favorite things every single time, you're not going to be discovering the content that I guess YouTube publishers are newly uploading. The that is why people get involved in so many different things, is because YouTube shows them what's newly trending. And that's how you keep up to date as to what's happening. So this is very necessary. This is needed. It's good to see there's a task for that. Native mobile world explorer. So I think this is just the fact that it's coming out of mobile. That's nothing new. Use prefabs collections of items that are grouped together in the builder. Didn't we just go through that? Do you want to add windows or doors or even a whole building to your scenes? This feature will allow you to add prefabs. Didn't we just go through that? So prefabs, pre-built scenes. Because one's pre-built scenes, one's prefabs. Okay. I thought they would be the same. Host events on your parcel using in-app discovery channel or activities. Yes. Auction land from dissolved districts. Okay, so we know that districts that were abandoned are now dissolved. There was mention that they are going to auction those lands. There's about, last I checked, I think there's about 1,000 lands or something that are going to be auctioned off. But these are in very premium places. So I believe this is not going to be cheap land. I can't imagine this being cheap land. But it's good to see that they're going to auction them off. Okay, so that's good. This auction is going to happen once all of this stuff is released, and probably Decentraland has a lot more eyeballs on it than now. Any sort of auction always gets a lot. Any sort of land auction usually goes a bit crazy. So if you're a land or manor holder by this point, I think you'd benefit a lot, just judging by what's happened in the last 2 auctions. Improve lighting in the World Explorer. Okay. Easy and robust multiplayer functionality in a scene. Okay. Add an in-world screen for scoreboards, vending machines, etc. Detect overlapping of player or items with other items. Change the materials of a 3D model in a scene. Use raycasting and calculate alignments and trajectories. Cool. Stream audio or video from select sources. Streaming of audio and video will enable a lot of interesting new ways to make Decentraland engaging. For example, by hosting live virtual concerts or movie screenings. To avoid serious issues of copyright infringement, we will only take content that comes from streaming platforms outside Decentraland. Obviously something like YouTube or something that provide their own content vetting. Okay, yeah, I was just about to say, because if you're streaming things specifically to Decentraland, they need to set up a whole team dedicated to make sure that the stuff that you're putting on Decentraland doesn't infringe any copyrights. It's good to see that Decentraland already pretty much have a platform that does that. You can just simply embed those videos onto your platform. That's probably what's going to happen. Wait, what? We are working on a solution for this that we hope to integrate by the end of the year. Okay, so by the end of the year, if we can get to this, so that means that all this stuff, is that what that means? If this is in order of when things are going to be released, then all this stuff is going to happen this year. Okay, cool. Decentralize the land smart contract. Okay. Native VR and World Explorer. Native VR World Explorer. So basically, this I guess confirms that we're going VR at some stage. The Unity 3D engine allows for easy exporting to a plethora of platforms, including VR. Immerse yourself in the competitive virtual reality Decentraland experience. Okay, cool. So this seems like it's just a touch of a button and we can get VR happening. It's not that complicated to, implement VR. So if that's the case, it is a good idea if they just kind of sideline VR, make sure everything else is working fine as it is, and then literally click a button or do a few modifications and suddenly we're on VR. And I guess if the Unity 3D engine allows you to do that, then I don't think it should take much to go VR. Alright, cool. So that's the whole roadmap. Looks like a lot of stuff is happening, from another land auction at some stage to opening up avatars very, very soon, being able to import items that move around from using the builder, probably selling your own NFT wearables, selling your own NFT, your own kind of builder packages and all that kind of stuff. So I think now they got to focus on content. They got to focus on the ease of experience in Decentraland, content discoverability. They really got to build a platform. So now they built all the back end stuff. Now it's really focusing on building what we see as a user and building an economy that drives itself. Meaning that as a user, as a developer, someone that builds experiences, you need to want to do that and get some value back, because you're putting value into this platform by building experiences, by building different things. If you're not getting that value back in some kind of way, so if you like the experience you're having in Decentraland, that's value you're getting back. If you want to sell things, you need to be able to fulfill, hopefully, a full-time job by literally making stuff and selling it on Decentraland. If Decentraland can get that kind of an economy happening, then Decentraland will be the growth of Decentraland will happen by itself. If Decentraland have to keep pushing and doing things to get people interested all the time, if content creators and visitors can't be a self kind of, what do I call it? If it can't drive itself, then that's when an issue is going to happen. So I think there's going to be a focus on an economy that drives itself, and there's going to be a reason for content developers to build in Decentraland, right? You don't want to be building things and no one be visiting, because very soon you're going to lose interest. You don't want to be building things, building NFT models and stuff, but no one's going to be buying, because again, you're going to lose interest. So there needs to be a lot of people entering and utilizing the services of content creators. That's the most important thing. And I think that's one reason that's an issue High Fidelity are facing, especially with their VR line, or the VR kind of arm of High Fidelity. And that's why they've closed their VR platforms, because it's just not working out in that sense. The people that are building content aren't being rewarded for it. Imagine you're spending hours and hours and hours, days, months, probably even $1,000 plus. You're finally releasing this product, and you're only failing because the market isn't big enough for it, right? You're not catering for enough people, because there's not many people using VR at the moment. So hopefully this will be something different. Considering Second Life grew pretty crazy, I hope interacting with Decentraland is going to be as easy as Second Life. Like, you literally just go on a web browser, log in, customize your avatar, and walk around and see what's up. All right, guys, that's it. That is the roadmap that we've got so far. Very interesting. Let's see how it all pans out in terms of what we can do and when we can do it. Again, closed beta is happening at the moment. I'm in a group where we're testing things out. Well, I haven't tested out personally, but everyone else is, I guess. It's all because I'm in Australia, so I'm waiting for me to be whitelisted. But as soon as I can go in and test things out, and they're going to be adding more and more people, a few hundred of us testing things out, making sure everything's cool, and they go public beta, I think from then onwards, it's going to be something crazy. In fact, I think from avatars onwards, this stuff's going to start going a bit wild. But it's good to see there is definitely stuff happening in the works. And if this is what's happening within the year, that'll be very cool. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Comment, share, and let me know how you went, what your opinions are on the roadmap. And I'll see you guys in another video.